Rahman sir called me soon after the release of the film, and then he said, everyone is saying, Imtiaz Ali is back, you're back, you're back. Where were you? Actually, it feels as though this is somehow Chamkila's destiny, because everything that Chamkila did was a super hit. I realized, like, when we were making that Naram Kalja song, I thought this is just like, how is this a part of this story? But we made it because to some extent we are all bhands. We are all like, we love song and dance. And we love women. And there were these 300 women from the heart of Punjab, real women, not women that usually come in front of the camera for a film shoot. There has to be a story, there has to be a reason. To make Jab We Met another time.
Right.
I made Love Aaj Kal the second time. People didn't love that much.
Hi Imtiaz sir, welcome to News 18.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to meet you. I've known you virtually. Now
Yes.
I see you really.
Absolutely. No, it's a pleasure for us, and big congratulations on the super success of Chamkila.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a before I start the interview, I think I just want to tell you it's a beautiful film, and I actually got to watch it on the big screen for the Mami screening.
lovely.
And I really think it should have released for the big screen. It was so mesmerizing, to watch those songs play out.
That was a wonderful screening, and when the community watches together, it's always a different feeling.
Absolutely, yes. The one thing that everybody is saying is that, Imtiaz Ali is back. Is that a sentiment that you are also resonating with?
Rahman sir called me soon after the release of the film, and then he said, everyone is saying, Imtiaz Ali is back, you're back, you're back. Where were you? Actually, where were you? And then he said that, don't feel bad about it. Sometimes people can be cruel as well. They don't understand the sense. And I said, no, I do know that people mean it with love when they say that somebody is back. And I'm neutral to it. I feel that if people feel that they should be watching my movies, or if there's any indication of positivity, then it's always a good thing.
Yeah. I think there's always this sense of ownership that people have, over your films. So be your success or your failure, people take it very personally, I think.
Well, I am very humbled by that, actually. And I do feel that. I do feel that I'm lucky, fortunate, blessed, that I receive from people this warmth, and I receive so much. So, and I'm glad that Chamkila also gave an opportunity to a lot of people to express their love to me and to other people that were involved in the film.
Yes, absolutely. So, it's been a while since the film has released. Still, it continues to be a point of conversation across social media. The songs are, topping the charts till date. And considering the, last two films of yours that, had an underwhelming performance, is there a personal sense of victory with this one?
I don't know if you were at the screening at the Mami, then my sentiment that day is the same as now. It feels as though this is somehow Chamkila's destiny, because everything that Chamkila did was a super hit. It was always overwhelming. It was always more than or better than expected. All his akhadas were doubly sold out. All his records, each song was a hit. There was nothing which wasn't a hit,
Yeah.
And so the movie on Chamkila is also going in that direction. So somehow I feel that there is this uncanny resemblance in the performance of his songs and the performance of his film. That, of course, is just like how I am looking at it.
Okay.
And, I feel also a bit enthused by the fact that Chamkila has been liked. And everything in Chamkila, there were many things that were very risky in this film, let me tell you. That we are using animation, from live action to animation might not have made sense at all. and the screen has suddenly these supers coming up to explain the meaning.
Yes.
Before that was the challenge of how in a Hindi film can we have Punjabi songs going on in between, you know, and I didn't want to change Chamkila's original songs at all. So there were many challenges, and we've responded to them with many techniques of storytelling. So, you know, and all of them fell right also. Luckily, people accepted
Yes.
it. And so it's very gratifying. It's gratifying because I feel that I have always believed that this audience, the Indian audience especially, is a very evolved audience. We might say all the time that audience bewakoof hai, the audience doesn't know. But I always feel that we as filmmakers cannot reach the level of this audience. This audience that has digested very complicated and sophisticated texts like the Mahabharata and the Ramayana,
Yeah.
and they've got every moral in that story.
Yeah.
So we can't say that we are making something now more sophisticated than the mythology that every Indian has gone
Sure.
through. No? So I feel that it is our shortcoming, and that not shortcoming really, but it's a work in progress. You know, I feel that one needs to come to a certain level of simplicity to be able to tell a sophisticated story, where various layers can be held together by the story and produced in a simple form
Yes.
for the consumer, for the viewer. So a lot of things fell right. The things that I liked personally a lot in Chamkila are the things that people also like. I realized, like when we were making that Naram Kalja song, I thought this is just like, how is this a part of this story? But
Yeah.
we made it because to some extent we are all bhands. We are all like, we love song and dance.
We do.
And we love women, and there were these 300 women from the like heart of Punjab,
Yeah.
real women, not women that usually come in front of the camera for a film shoot. So we just did it, and we loved it, and people are loving it. So
Yes.
I have a sense of enthusiasm and a sense of more, like I feel like diving deeper somehow.
Yeah.
I feel like there is a way that I can reach where I can reach as a filmmaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I somehow feel that I have just started that journey. Maybe it's good for my confidence. Maybe it is good for my confidence on the audience. Audience is very simple. Yeah, give them something they like it. They are there to like it. Actually, they've already made the investment of buying your ticket or, you know, booking their time to watch something. So I feel a renewed commitment to my own self after Chamkila.
Yes. This simplicity that you spoke about, you know, often I see people, you know, having this argument on social media saying, अरे तुझे समझ में नहीं आएगा, इम्तियाज अली का फिल्म है, बहुत लैज़ है उसमें. How do you react to that?
Well, I take it as the fact that I need to improve
Okay.
my storytelling so that it reaches across more simply. I just take it like that. तुमको समझ में नहीं आएगा इसका मतलब है कि मैं समझा नहीं पाया हूँ. I am not make a film has to be and should be for mass communication. It should be a popular medium of expression. And I cannot say that some people might not understand it. It's okay. I, as a filmmaker, am always trying to reach it across to the largest number of people,
Yeah.
right? But for that, I have to also improve my ability as a filmmaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have taken different kinds of steps in this journey, because it's not only the same type of step that will reach you where you want to reach. I don't know where I want to reach, but I do want to be able to do better, you know, as a filmmaker, as a storyteller. So I feel that a good storyteller is somebody who can tell a very sophisticated story with many, many layers, very simply.
Yeah.
So that is my aspiration.
Absolutely right. So there are two things in specific about Chamkila that, I'm actually very curious for you to explain. So the one thing is, of course, I know that you have on multiple occasions said how you love shooting songs.
Yeah.
My personal favorite from the album is Tu Kya Jaane. And what I really liked there is this paradox that, of course, she's in love with Chamkila, but there is an emotional restraint. She cannot show it, for multiple reasons. It's societal, it's personal. And there's this one scene, before she's climbing down the stairs, and because she cannot showcase her emotions in front of him, she takes a twirl in the staircase and then comes down. This paradox that we are talking about, what was your thought process like when you were shooting for Tu Kya Jaane?
I've seen many videos of Amarjot and Chamkila. I've seen how Amarjot has a look of being closed almost, individually in most of those videos. And I imagined her to be a person in the center of an arena of great masculinity, talking about double meaning things, which are sometimes lewd and suggestive. However, never being available personally to the fantasy of the men. Somehow she's saying all those things, but she's so closed. So what it must have taken her to be there. It's a devastating situation for a person to be in. So I was thinking that this person who is usually keeping a closed window of communication would obviously internally feel a lot of things which she must be enjoying on her own in a personal space and not letting other people know, because she is in this very vulnerable place where even if you saw the film, you realize that her father, for instance, was so worried about her being in the proximity of Chamkila, etc., and the brother was always there to safeguard her, etc. So I felt that, okay, let her get her moments of personal celebration of something which she will then shield when she gets outside. So that particular shot also came from that kind of a thing, that let her take a moment to enjoy herself and then come out and just walk in the regular shielded way. But if we can do it in one shot, it will flow nicely.
Yeah.
So we did that.
So that happened in one single shot.
That was a single shot, yes. Right. That you see her coming in and then we drag back and we see that, they just walk away like that. And the interesting thing over here is that we didn't have a choreographer on the film at all.
Oh.
There was no dance director because we did not think that we will go there and do anything related to dance. And as many of my songs have been choreographed by no one, but this time I also took the help of the executive producer of the film.
Okay.
A girl named Srishti, who had a dance background.
Okay.
So just because the way I do it is that I need another person to walk with me and craft the shots of the song. So she became that person.
Okay.
And then as a result of this Tu Kya Jaane experience, she's the one who went ahead and she choreographed the Naram Kalja song.
Oh, she did it?
Yeah, and we did it together like that.
Okay.
But then she had the dance steps and then one or two dance moves I had in mind. And she is the one who choreographed, and more than even choreographed, I think she trained those people who'd never actually danced, many of them, or been in front of the camera to know. So she did this incredible job.
Lovely. So have you ever danced for your actors to show them this is what I want?
Not danced, but sometimes I've walked to music or sometimes it's to show timing sometimes.
Right.
I have just shown the move, the basic move, but it's never a dance that I show to anybody.
Okay. The other thing that I was talking about...
Except for there is one moment where I showed the dance to this little Chamkila.
Okay.
The kid that was playing the young Chamkila. There's a boy.
Okay, yes.
So there is a shot of him dancing in the fields, and that I had shown him. So I was dancing here and I was saying, "Tu mere ko dekh aur tu dance kar."
Oh, no.
So he was just copying me.
That would be an interesting scene to watch. Okay. No, so the other thing I was talking about is the song Vida Karo, which is such a soulful song. Um, your, let's say, fascination with Maidan Ke Us Par Kya Hai? You know, so there is Vida Karo, and of course there was Rockstar, which we also know. What is it about this world, this extra world out there that fascinates you?
Many of the things that must be lurking inside my psychographics are revealed to me myself through my films. I do know what you mean by saying this Vida Karo thing, because मुझे जाना है उस पार. Even in Laila Majnu, Majnu says, मैं उस पार जाऊंगा, पहाड़ों के उस पार. And Rockstar also says that सही और गलत के पार. I don't know what I mean by that, but I feel that it's the known world or the known way of behavior. There is something seemingly beyond that, I feel. Beyond the training of society or civilization, there is another reality. I don't know how to physically describe it, or just that it may be just a different state of being for a person. That I can't say, but there seems to be like you can go beyond.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, वो पता नहीं क्या है, but ऐसा लगता है कि कुछ है beyond.
कुछ तो है, right. I saw that Chamkila's first wife, Gurmail Kaur,
जी.
I think she had attended one of the screenings.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that moment where in the film where we come to know that he was already married, it was quite a turning point for a film in a way, in his life also, I'm sure. Was there a thought, sir, ever to sort of flesh that out and explore that track a little more?
Actually, there is so much that has happened in Chamkila's life that is interesting, and that also contributes to the scope of the story. There's so much that I had a tough time trying to cut it down, condense it, and to still not lose all the entertaining or relevant scenes. There's so much more. Yes, there was a scope of developing more. There's much more that has happened between Gurmail and Chamkila. For instance, he had another child with Gurmail Kaur after he had a child with Amarjot.
Oh.
And the circumstance of that has been explained to me by Chamkila's sister. And I have it on the record, but I wrote a scene also, but I had to cut it down because somehow it was a bit less relevant than the ones that, were already there, and I had to cut something. I've paper edited Chamkila a lot in order to bring it to some sort of a duration. So yeah, there is a lot that could have been discovered over there.
Did she tell you something, share her feedback after she watched the film?
Well, after she watched the film with her daughter and son-in-law and grandchildren, everybody, they said they loved it. She hugged me, she cried. We all got emotional. Jaiman was there. He also said he loved it. Everything was great. And then there were pictures, and they were like, the two families were both there, like Amarjot's side and Gurmail's side. And they were like trying to take pictures with me separately.
Okay.
So I said, ek picture saath mein lo yaar, saath mein hi rehna,
Yeah.
because Jaiman also calls Gurmail Mummy ji,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they are, and the things happen in life, but if they can stick together is always better. So their feedback at that point was very, very good. And I don't know, I mean, right now, I'm sure a lot of people are interviewing them. And also I feel that in those parts, I don't know, maybe I'm not following how they are speaking now, but they were very happy with it on the day.
Right. Moving a little.
It was actually quite bizarre because there was a time I was in the screening watching it.
Yes.
And I was sitting on the aisle.
Okay.
And then I realized that who was sitting next to me was Gurmail.
Oh, you didn't realize
I didn't realize it
Okay,
till
okay.
then.
Okay.
And then there was a moment where she looked at me and I looked at her, and I was like, some particular scene was happening in the film
Yes.
which would be a sensitive scene for her. And then I started to shift back slowly, just in case she decides to pounce upon me after the scene.
Awkward moment.
But I couldn't ultimately show too much of Gurmail
Yeah.
because that was hidden from the viewer or from Amarjot or the whole world actually. For that one half of the film, it was hidden, right? So it's only later that you realize there was a wife, and then yes, but there's a lot of interesting stuff that has happened in their lives also.
Yeah.
Like Chamkila was 6 years younger than Gurmail. And when they got married, Chamkila got a bicycle. And so he, after the shadi happened,
Yeah.
he and Gurmail came in the cycle back home to Dugri, to Chamkila's house. And for most of the time, Chamkila sat and she bicycled
Oh, she was.
Gurmail.
Wow.
Because she was older. He was just like some 16, I don't know, maybe even younger when he got married.
Wow, such interesting tidbits.
Yeah, so they were kind of taking turns doing the bicycling and sitting.
Yeah. Wow. No, I was just saying, moving a little away from Chamkila. So, and this is also a lot of conversation I've seen on social media regarding this. I think, so it was Rockstar, which proved to be like a game-changing moment in Ranbir Kapoor's career, Same goes for Highway, where, it was, I think, Alia's second film or third film. Second film, yeah. So, these are the two films that I think went on to change people's perception of these two actors, of themselves in a big way. When you had...
Kareena perhaps as well, no? Kareena for Jab Bhi Mein.
Yeah, but I'm just saying in terms of the career longevity, Alia and Ranbir were relatively newer. If that is how I'm saying. What did you really see in these two actors that you felt like so early on in their careers that you felt like, these people can pull off these two complicated roles, and which eventually went on to change their careers?
So with Ranbir, the story is that when I went to meet him, it was just like we were both bumping into each other here and there, and then it's like, why don't we meet and all of that. And so I met him, I was telling him the story of some other film. And then he said, what about your film, that Rockstar film?
Okay.
There was a time that I was trying to make Rockstar many, many years before Ranbir came into the film industry.
Okay.
And it never got made at that point of time. So then he started saying, what about that film? I said, do you know about that film? How do you know? So he said, my friend told me. And he started to narrate the story back to me. He said that there is this guy and he's in college, and then he narrated the story of Rockstar to me.
Okay.
That is it true that ऐसा भी होता है उसमें वैसे भी होता है? And then I was saying नहीं वो ऐसा नहीं है वैसा है. So he basically told me what he knew about the story of Rockstar. While he was saying it, I thought this is the guy that can play it, because when he was telling me the story, I
You saw the
realized that
passion in his eyes.
passion and suitability and a certain character which I think was suitable. There's this common connection between what Ranbir has and what Jordan was supposed to have. So I feel that Ranbir in any ways is a very superior actor. He's a very, very, very good actor, far beyond what might be expected of a guy that age. And so that's how it happened. So it's just like when he was telling me the story, I realized this is the guy.
He is JJ.
Yeah, he's JJ. And with Alia as well, Alia was very young. When I had written Highway, or when I was going to make Highway, I was thinking of casting somebody who was a little older than Alia, much older than Alia. And that, but when I met Alia, like I'd met her earlier as Mahesh Bhatt's young daughter, kid daughter really, much before I started making films. But then when I met her again at a premiere, I had not seen her first film. I had not seen Karan's film.
Okay.
So I met her at this premiere of a film called Love Shav De
The
Chicken
Chicken
Khurana.
Khurana.
उसके premiere में गए हुए थे, तो she was there with her mother. And I knew her mother, so I went up and I met this girl, and she was obviously much younger than I was looking for.
Yeah.
She was really a kid
Yeah.
on the anvil of becoming a woman, and she spoke, and I spoke to her, and I felt a certain kind of a connect with her, and I saw somehow a certain gravitas in her personality. Not even gravitas, actually. I saw in her a certain emotional depth or some sort of thing, you know, in this little girl. And then I told her, can I tell you a story? Will you read a script? And she said, yeah. I called her after 2 days because she was not calling me back. And I said, have you even read, did you read it?
Yeah.
She said, yes, sir, I read it. And she sounded very kind of apologetic almost. So I said, well, what did you think? Did you like it? And I remember her voice on the phone, which says, I loved it. The way she says, loved, I thought she has it actually to perform in this film. So instinctively you take these decisions, you know,
Yeah.
these are not very calibrated decisions, and you
So-
not only take these decisions, you then try to make it right. You know, in casting, that's the only thing that you can do, that you can try to make it right. You can use this person and yourself to tell the story or the character.
Yes, yes. But you know, you and Ranbir have had such rich collaborations. Has there not been a conversation to work again post Tamasha?
I feel whenever you work with an actor, there is also this pressure or a responsibility that let's not do anything for the sake of doing something.
Yeah.
Let's do something only when you have got something better or completely different from what you've done before. Like this happened during, you know, after Jab We Met, when Kareena and I worked, and we are so fond of working with each other, really. But we've never been able to work again up till now because there was nothing that for me was like different enough or unique or better than what we've done before. You know, it has to be something interesting. Otherwise, it's useless to, you know, it's almost like dulling the memory.
Yeah.
If you've had a great experience with somebody, the next experience should also be good. Otherwise, don't have another experience.
Yeah.
I
True.
kind of look at it that way, which is why with Ranbir, because there was Tamasha, and Tamasha was, to me, a more challenging role to play for an actor. So I approached him with it, and I think it's a more valuable performance for sure. It's a much more difficult performance.
You think it was
Yeah.
more difficult than Janardhan Jang?
Yes,
Okay.
I think it was much more difficult and much more involving than Janardhan Jak.
Yeah, yeah.
Tamasha was.
Right. Just, you know, lastly, before we let you go, I have been told to ask you this by a lot of your fans. Are you still making the Radha Krishna film?
Well, I want to make the Radha Krishnan film. I am very inspired by their stories and by the mythology, but I have to again bring myself to a position where I can make position, not in terms of a physical position, but at least I need to have I need to have imbibed some of the qualities of Radha and Krishna in myself to be able to make a film, because I cannot make a film which is just a film.
Okay.
When you are making a film like that, I need to get there somehow.
Okay.
Time will come, hopefully. To all people who want to see that, please pray.
Yes, we want to
that
see it.
we want to, that I want to make it. But then I hopefully that time will come.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to make it.
And the eternal question always asked to you, Jab We Met sequel.
Why have a sequel to Jab We Met?
Because we want to continue relishing it.
Watch it again.
That's what we have been doing. But no, yours, hopefully, you know, someday if it happens, it will
Let's
happen.
see.
Yeah.
Never say never. There has to be a story. There has to be a reason.
Yeah.
to make Jab We Met another time.
Right.
I made Love Aaj Kal the second time. People didn't love that much. But no, that's not. That's just a joke and an
No,
aside.
I get it.
But I'm thinking that, unless there is a really
Yeah.
passionate reason to make a sequel, one should not.
One should not, yeah. Right. We have picked up a few frames from your films.
Yeah.
Like frames, okay? Some of the best ones, according to me. And I just want you to tell me a little story behind how you conceived
Okay.
those frames.
All right.
ठीक है?
Lovely.
Let's start off with, you can actually swipe and check, okay?
No, you show me.
Okay. This is the first one.
Yeah. Tara's name in Tamasha was Tara because she was the guide. It was, for me, not a love story between a man and a woman. It was the love story between an artist and his muse. And this is the end of the film where they kind of come together. And he acknowledges her in a way that he bows down in front of her. Because she's the one who was the Tara, the star that leads him to his destination. And then he kind of crawls to her to come and kiss her. And this moment happens. And we were shooting this in a studio, actually.
Oh, okay.
It was a stage that we created. And a lot of work had happened, but I feel that this frame where he would enter from a certain place and she would enter from another place, it is also, and that they would just be like looking at each other close, and it's a very difficult shot for actors to play because you are seeing them so close and you're seeing their unprecedented, or you cannot formulate exactly what your feel or your reaction will be when you come so close to somebody who is from the gender you're attracted to, so to speak. So that was very nice, and it was a very warm experience for all of us to watch.
Yeah.
People feel that, these people have had an affair with each other, or are they with each other or not. But beyond that, for the life of an actor, there is a love of performing together, which is also something which is very important and significant. You might love to act with each other also, and these two actors have that. They have the love for acting with each other as well.
Yeah.
So that kind of showed in that frame.
Absolutely.
So very long answer to this.
No, that's okay. Okay, let's take. This is one of my favorite films of yours, Love Aaj Kal.
Yeah, we shot this in Calcutta, and this particular location was what is it? The Lake Garden, the Lake Colony. I think it's called the Lake Garden or something. And we colored it to this color, this building. We made this balcony because I wanted her to stand on a balcony. And I think it was very hot these days when we were shooting. And I'd not shot in Calcutta before that.
Oh, okay.
And I'm from Jamshedpur, so Calcutta is like my second home. And it's definitely my first city. So it was very thrilling to be in my own element, so to speak. So, and again, this is something that I personally liked a lot. This whole thing of, another theme in my films which I'm trying to break, that somebody is standing on the balcony.
Yes.
And somebody is like watching from below, So that happened over here. And at that point of time, this girl who's coming from some small town, Brazilian she's a Brazilian girl.
Yes.
And
Giselle.
Gisele, huh? Gisele Vidotto Montero. Lovely girl. And Saif as playing a turbaned Sikh. And both their looks worked so well. If you notice,
Yeah.
he is not a Sikh. And he doesn't have long hair, but he's wearing a turban and he looks exactly like so many Sikh friends that we have. And she looks like a Punjabi girl, although she's never been to India before. And she's some girl from a small town in Brazil.
Yeah. Lovely. I loved how awkwardly they were standing.
My instruction to them was, no matter what the cameraman says,
Yeah.
don't make any change. So the cameraman is saying, thoda upar, thoda niche, thoda haath aise karna, thoda, and don't do anything. Just be. So that is what was happening in this,
Yeah.
and that was funny.
Yeah, absolutely. The very last one.
Fantasy, na?
Yes.
So this is, I think, a very painful photograph. It looks very beautiful, but the sequence is very painful. It's like when a feeling of loss descends upon somebody, it becomes a fantasy.
Yeah.
And so it's like when he knows he has lost her, does she appear in front of him
Yeah.
in a fantasy form, and he
Right.
can see her, and she can always take him back into a place where he will be alone with her.
Right.
But that's only going to be in his mind. Otherwise, physically, he's always going to be alone and broken.
Right. I remember once you had told me that I wish the ending of Rockstar wasn't so tragic.
Of Rockstar. Well, in a way, it is, no?
You said, I wish it wasn't.
It wasn't. How could it not have been tragic? It had to be tragic. I wish, I wish as a viewer that it wasn't, but there was no way. A film that begins with, I want my heart to be broken, has
Yes.
to end with the heart
With the
being
heart
broken.
broken. Absolutely. But thank you so much, sir, on that note, for giving us such a big chunk of your time today.
Not at
And,
all. It was a pleasure.
Likewise. All the very, very best, to you. I'm looking forward to what awaits next.
Thank you, Tita.
Thank you.
All the best.